I think an important preface for this video is to say that owning less won't solve all of life's problems. I don't want to sell minimalism as the magic answer to all of your problems. I just want to share what I do and my reasons behind them. Owning less has provided me with a lot of benefits, and I wanted to share some of those today in a video. But first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you and you end up liking the video, be sure to like and consider subscribing. Let's get started. As always, I speak from my own experiences and just share what I do and my reasons behind it, hoping you gain some value or inspiration out of it. And the first reason is quite obvious, and that is less decisions. One of the first things about minimalism that really appealed to me was this idea of less decision making. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind for me is less decision making with what clothes to wear, but it goes a lot deeper than that. Less decisions when it comes to spending because I've set a particular criteria for that. Less deciding whether to say yes or no to something because I value my time more. Decision fatigue is something that hindered my judgment throughout the day. These small, unimportant decisions that started from the second I woke up to moments before I went to sleep. I believe overall these took a toll on my productivity. And I know it might sound a little dramatic to say these small decisions throughout the day made me unproductive, but I'm just speaking from my own experience. I now make decisions less frequently but more carefully, and that's how I plan on continuing doing it. The next reason is less physical and mental clutter. I'm aware that this is a very general statement that's been talked about many times by practically every minimalist, but I wanted to explain just what it means to me. For me, less physical clutter equals less mental clutter. It means less things I have to remember to clean or move around if I want to get to something. Less things creating friction or in the way of me doing what I want to do or being more productive. I'm someone who's very easily distracted and very good at procrastinating, so being surrounded by less has directly helped me control the urge to be distracted and get up and do anything besides the work right in front of me. And the next reason is more time. And this one can't be stressed enough for me. I value my time a lot, and it's not necessarily because I want to be doing something specific. It's more that I don't want to be doing something that I don't want to do, if that makes any sense. We're all humans with responsibilities and jobs, and I understand that. And I understand that part of life is doing a lot of things we don't necessarily want to do. But I feel like often I put myself in situations that I don't really want to or have to be in. I used to say yes to everything because it made me busier, leading me to think I was being more productive. And that was just the opposite of what was actually happening. Instead of putting a little bit of time in multiple different directions, I put more of it exactly where I wanted it to be, yielding better results. I know I'm not being very specific here, but I don't think I need to be. Because the point is, more time where I want it to be, and less time where I don't. The next reason is higher standards. And higher standards applies to everything. Higher standards for items, and higher standards for plans and people. The cliche I really like to live by is less but better, because it really just makes sense. When speaking about practical items, I'll opt to spend more on something if I know it could potentially save me time or money down the road. The cheap alternative is something I'll still consider in some cases if it makes sense. And when I say higher standards for plans and people, I really just mean surrounding myself with people I like, and people I like spending time with. I never really was or wanted to be the person that hangs out with large groups of people but wasn't really close with anyone. I could honestly say I only really have a handful of people that I could talk to about anything and that I'm really close to. And the final reason is clarity on what I want to do. When I initially decluttered everything out of my life that wasn't something I wanted to put time and energy into, I was surrounded by everything I deemed absolutely essential. Things that I wanted to own or use. Instead of feeling like I'm being pulled in the direction of 5 different projects or hobbies that I frankly don't really care about, now the only things getting that attention are the things I do care about. I know many people struggle with finding their passion, and even if one didn't want to become a full-blown minimalist, I think a light declutter is a great way to at least identify or get some idea of what your passion might be. And the irony of this reason is that it took me years after adopting minimalism to realize this. I considered myself a minimalist for years before I decided to start making videos about it. And only fairly recently am I realizing that this is what my passion is, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. These are just a few reasons that I decided to own less and some of the benefits that came along with them. Again, I never wanted to sell minimalism as the answer to everyone's problems, just share my own experiences. I think there's at least one thing here that anyone, minimalist or not, can benefit from. At least one thing that can apply to anyone's unique life situation. As always, I appreciate the time you spent here watching, and I hope you gained some value or inspiration out of this. If you did like this video and you do like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.